we have to also give credit to Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is not an easy guy to fight. And especially with the way that Izzy fights, this is just kind of like a style that is able to potentially neutralize that type of style. So we have to give credit where credit is due here. Sean Strickland came in and did his thing, but that hard to see that the Israel Adesanya that we're all used to seeing wasn't the Israel Adesanya that we saw last weekend.
That was the same Izzy. Here's the thing, guys.
Okay.
If you watch Sean spar anybody, it goes very similar to that. Especially like we've been chilling, like it's like 7 years now. I've seen him fight a bunch of people, like spar a bunch of people. You can get better fighting against Sean, but every time someone has their first like rounds with Sean, it goes exactly this way, where people are like, "What the hell is going on?" So everybody's like, "Oh, Izzy looked off." I've seen this 1,000 times. Like Sean's that you can get better at fighting him, but when you initially run into him, you are just confused. Because I always laugh. Everything he does is like on paper wrong. Like you're just like, it's not the way you're supposed to move. But like he moves weird, he throws weird, he goes from like he kung fu blocks. He shuts that. Like he's really good at shutting down the things you're supposed to be good at. But you hear at one point Izzy say, "I can't find my jab." It's hard to find your jab against Sean because he creates so much random traffic with his jab. Or when you start jabbing, he's parrying weird. He's kung fu blocking. In most combat sports, especially like kickboxing, boxing, everything's predated off of what? Your jab, right? Everything sets up with your jab. So when he just takes that away from you, you're like, no, it's not there. You can't out-jab Sean. Like, he's going to win that battle. He's either going to counter you or just make your jab pointless. So I've seen people have this same, like, what the hell's going on every time they spar Sean at first. I've seen it happen for years. So all the bullshit about Izzy look different. Like, no, you look confused. Like, I look confused, and, like, everyone else looks confused when they spar Sean because you're like, what are you doing? So, like, no, it's always going to be whatever, but like, no, that's bullshit. I've seen this happen for 7 years, and like, no, this is what he does.
Okay.
So like, people want to take his flowers from him. Like, no, man, give the man his flowers. He went out there and he fought like him.
The much-awaited rematch between Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko goes down this Saturday as the fight is set for the main event at Noche UFC. While in the co-main event, Kevin Holland makes a quick return to face Jack Della Maddalena, and you can watch the entire Noche UFC event live and free on ESPN+. So do not wait. Click the link in the description and sign up for ESPN+ today.
You were asked about a rematch. You said, that sounds right. But you got, Drickus out there saying, hey, what about me? You got Hamzat and Costa coming up in Abu Dhabi. You had Jared Cannonier there as a backup. So all those seem like viable options. Are you considering all those, or do you still feel like the fight to make is the rematch?
Well, I think if you remember that night, people said, well, what do you think? You think it's a rematch? I said, yeah, the rematch sounds great. And never did I say, I saw the stupid fucking shit that was written, by all these stupid fucking websites. Never once did I say, yes, we're going to do this rematch. I said, yeah, the rematch sounds, we'll see what happens. There's obviously lots of options out there, and we'll see what happens. But yes, I'm still not opposed to an Israel rematch. We'll see how it goes.
I think it made things interesting because the UFC is a little bit cross with me, maybe. They're a little bit pissed off because I turned down the fight, which is totally unjustified, I think. But, at the end of the day, it's not my decision to make. Did it hurt the stock? Not at all. People have been talking about me this whole time after that fight. He's getting the fight. So great. So the Hamzat Costa, obviously if they are favorites, I get that. But, Costa is ranked number 5 or 6. Hamzat not even in the rankings. So I don't see how that makes sense. Cannonier makes more sense than Hamzat and Costa's winner. And then, of course, there's one guy with the number 1 next to his name, the guy that beat Robert Whittaker, and that's me. And the way I see this is I'm fighting Sean Strickland. I'm beating him, and the rematch is going to happen, but the roles will be reversed. I'll be the champion, and Izzy will be the challenger.
For Sean Strickland, the very, very best thing might be the immediate rematch with Israel Adesanya, because all those other fights I just mentioned are tough fights, right? Sean's in this for the money. He talks about that all the time, which is also very refreshing as well. You know what I mean? Here was a martial artist to test myself. No, that we all want to get paid. Izzy's the biggest star. There'll be a big storyline, a big narrative going into that one. From what I saw there, unless Izzy does something to completely reinvent the wheel, I can't see a much different result. You know what I mean? Now, you never know, because every fight is different. I always say that. But for for Sean, he has the opportunity to say, okay, I'll do you again. Get paid a shit ton of money, because he'll be on pay-per-view points. Become a millionaire overnight. And then finally, once and for all, close the book on Israel Adesanya and then move on to the rest of the division.
Well, one time we got into a fight actually. Like,
you and Strickland?
Yeah. We were still in Cali, like we were on the UFC gym, and like, yeah, bro, like he headbutted me open, and he's like, you shouldn't have put your head down. He's like, I'm like, you headbutted me. He headbutted me a bit, and I just took off my glove and punched him, you know. Like, this motherfucker, like, he just went like, bro, we have a weird relationship, but I am his friend, you know.
I don't know if we're friends, but I do like Marvin.
Y'all definitely fit in like a crazy, strange way. Kind of like the poke funny. You kind of seem like the like sometimes you're like, all right, I'll take a little bit, but don't go too far.
Were you surprised that Israel Adesanya didn't speak at the press conference? He came in, said something, and then dipped?
Yeah, so I asked him, I told you guys that night, I asked him in the octagon, I said, you okay? He said, I'll talk to you later. I bumped into him in the back, and he told me about as much as he told you. So, yeah, it was strange.
I had a different plan for this, but again, life throws curveballs at you. Thank you. Win or lose, I wasn't gonna say much anyway, but right now, I lost tonight to the better man on the night, and I just want to go with people, be with people who care about me, my team, and they're waiting for me, so I'm gonna do that. But I will leave you in the capable hands of a man who is much smarter than me. I'll admit this on worldwide national media. I'll leave it with Eugene Behrman. He'll handle this for the first time. I want to go chill, have some breakfast, build my family, and yeah, till next time.
I didn't necessarily have a problem with it, but what did you think of Izzy not doing the post-fight press conference and having his coach do it?
All right, again, not trying to kick a man while he's down, but I feel like there's a way of minimizing the embarrassment. And all right, let me just cut to the chase. I feel like you should do that. If you win, you got to go up there. Of course, you celebrate your moment. If you lose, certainly as a champion, you got to take to the microphone and address and say what went wrong, and be man enough to say congratulations to my opponent, which I know he did say that. But to not stick around, there's a lot of people that support him. You know, you got to take the good with the bad, the rough with the smooth. I'll never forget when Dominic Cruz, when he got outclassed, I'll say, with respect to Dom, against Cody Garbrandt. He came and fucking held court, spoke to the press and was honest, and he got so much, people respected him. Same with Conor McGregor, I think, after he lost to Dustin Poirier. You know, people like to see that, and I think he would have done himself a lot of favours had he have done that. Now, I understand, listen, he's a long-time champ, he's not used to losing, do you know what I mean? So he had to deal with his emotions, but I think it would have been good PR for him to stick around and answer a few questions.
Tight, yeah. Whatever, man. Just keep bringing me that.